I think I'm more worried about how this can be used as a geopolitical weapon because, of course, we have countries and there is inequality across the world. So not all countries have, of course, the same capacity to engage with these kind of technologies, and we do not know the long-lasting effect. So I can do something now that I believe it's good in a small scale, but when we do it in a global scale or in a larger scale, it can have negative impacts to myself and also to other countries. So I think this kind of uncertainty and lack of information is a little bit unsettling because it's not a 1 + 1 = 2, right? It's still like dwelling in uncertainty. And I think that's a bit the worrying part about it. I think as Youth for Nature, for example, this is interesting. We don't have a positioning about this kind of technologies, specifically solar radiation modification, just because we don't feel like we have knowledge about it. We don't know it enough to be pro or against it. We're still undecided.
So indeed, SRM has a lot of potential benefits, but also a lot of negative aspects as well and impacts. Obviously, the main benefit would be to cool down temperatures and sort of slow down climate change. But it would be only a supplemental strategy, and it cannot be replacing mitigation or adaptation efforts. And something, I mean, there's many things that I'm concerned about relating to SRM. The lack of knowledge we have on the impacts it could have on rainfall patterns or the increase of droughts, for example, the impacts on human health, on biodiversity protection. And all of these questions still remain to be discussed. And that's why I think we need to have a global debate on that and start thinking about governance.
Well, for me, first of all, before we go any further, I just think the whole thing sounds like a technological addiction. We are just caught up in a maze where we create things that we in the past have been proven to be unscientific. For example, the whole story of sulfur dioxide. Anyone in the science world has heard about acid rain. The things that we are doing, yes, we understand that climate change is real, that carbon emissions are growing, and we have to act immediately.
When I read this article, personally, I was worried. And I think any other person elsewhere can also get worried about this technology.
For me, the research, if it is for the good cause, it should. But then the reason as to why we question this is that why is it hidden? Why is it done so fast that we cannot include everyone in the research? Because if it is for the people, then it should include the people. And my question is, why is it only a certain section of people doing this and not including the other, when the effects of this research is going to be felt by everyone? So I think as an African, we need to have a voice of everything that is going to cause effects to us and our continent. And that's why I have a concern. This research should happen with African knowledge also inclusive. If it is not, then we are highly doubting what are they doing.
When I started learning more about SRM, I came to know there are a certain, negative aspects as well. But again, there are high chances of potential benefits as well. So the intriguing part about SRM is that what if we just, control not the whole climate or climatic phenomena, but what if we control of how much the sunlight should arrive the planet Earth? And yeah, that is the most exciting part about SRM, and it is relevant to SAI, stratospheric aerosol injection. And the thing that concerned me the most are definitely the negative aspects of SRM. That there what if there will be unnecessary acid drains and stuff like that. So we are not very much prepared for those negative aspects of SRM. So SRM itself, the whole concept is very intriguing, but it will only get known to you, to every one of us, when we start enough talking about it and learning more about it. So there are always positive and negative sides of everything. So we have to learn more about it.
Absolutely. I think it's really important to see where nature is placed in all of this, where is justice placed in all of this, where is community placed in all of this. We as Youth for Nature, for example, we struggle to building these kind of futures that take into account all of these factors, so climate, nature, biodiversity, collectives, to make sure there's a just future for everyone. I think something that unsettles me, for example, is the fact that companies or countries would just continue polluting and kind of putting a band-aid onto their actions, just saying, oh, we're going to be able to solve it with this kind of technologies later on with solar radiation modification. And this doesn't really lead to the bottom of the problem. I think we need to be an institutionalized part of decision making when it comes to this kind of governments. No tokenistic place at the table, just like a checkbox of like we have a young person here, but actually part of this decision making body. Should there be a governance body that at national, regional, and international level? Because that's the only meaningful way to engage and to make sure that we have the space to raise our concerns and to be heard and to actually have decision making capabilities. So it needs to be institutionalized.
We have to be very much careful of whatever we are gonna do with nature. So yes, I myself is exploring SRM. I'm conducting my MS thesis on it. I'm researching. I'm exploring about SRM and its all the positive and negative aspects. But we have to be very much careful. But we cannot ignore one option just because we don't feel good about it. So we must make the conversation inclusive, and we have to be proactive enough to let the climatologists and the senior scientists to contribute with respect to SRM. So that because it's a risk paradigm.
So to me, there's two main aspects to that. The first one is the intergenerational aspect of SRMs, because the decisions we're taking now will directly impact future generations. So we are reliable and responsible for their futures. And at the same time, there's a sort of ethical and moral questions to keep in mind.
As a young person and actually an ambitious person, passionate about conserving the environment and also ensuring our planet is safe, I'd wish this research information be shared across all the countries that own a share on this planet. If this research is shared, it means there is also a need to facilitate all these countries to also give their independent view, do their research about the same, and give their independent opinion about their findings, so that their findings can feed into the main plan of developing this solution. And also, there should be a participatory process where every nation has to participate, especially when it comes the time of endorsing this solution, so that we are all in agreement that the solution is viable and will help us protect the planet.
I feel the discussion is something we have not done very well, and I think this is where we need multilaterals, governments, and developing countries and and underdeveloped countries to just sit together and hatch out solutions together. It needs to be a democratic process whereby we shall discuss the whole outcome of all these things.